Having just crewed a 105-year-old yacht in near gale force conditions, I have a huge respect for her designer, who with flair and feel and none of the technology that exists today, created something very special. Viola was designed by William Fife III, the final member of a three-generation yacht design dynasty here in Scotland. Fife yachts are now deeply loved collector's items. The owner of the Truant, an 8-metre gaff cutter built in 1910, started his love affair with her 31 years ago, when he was just a child.
Tell me about how you ended up with the Truant.
My godfather left it to me in the early 80s. He wanted me to have the Truant one day and take it on, but obviously I was only 8 years old and not really into, I didn't know what I had at the time, and so it was not until he was closer to the latter years of his life that I started to get interest, wanting to get the boat ready. I wanted it to be ready for him to see, and when he was 97 he came into the idea of helping me out to get the boat ready. So that's kind of how it happened.
Truant's beauty is hard to ignore, and in 2011 she was chosen to star in the romantic film Shadows of Love. The film's producer was infatuated by the boat and has chartered her plus a steamboat for the crew to stay on.
I shot a scene on the film and I got to know Ross, the owner of the ship, and we discussed 3 years ago already that if this Film 5 event comes up again, we should all come. When you get a chance to sail on one of those boats, I think grab it.
To do the charter work obviously is important for me to be able to keep the boat, but that's nice that someone else is getting what I'm getting from the boat. You know, it's kind of all about sharing, and that's the way I'd like to run it.
Today we're leaving the Isle of Bute and racing in some of Western Scotland's finest waters.
I've been up the Cowes of Bute before, and it's one of Scotland's most beautiful sails, so I'm looking forward to today. It would help, but I'm not really entirely sure how to help. So I'd be safer just to watch.
Back down. Yeah.
Oh, it's a good knot. That's quite a lot of sail, Ross.
I know. Too much. Normally too much.
The Truant was commissioned by the Commodore of the Royal Yacht Squadron on the Isle of Wight, the club that held the first ever America's Cup. A year after her launch, she won 35 races with her owner at the helm.
It's unusual for the owners then to actually go out in their own boats. They used to just wage bets from the clubhouse. But
like owning a horse?
Yeah. So they would send they were mainly crewed by fishermen during the summer months because they were fit and strong from fishing all winter. She was very successful for many years, and then she disappeared off during the war to avoid being commissioned by the Admiralty. Went off to Scandinavia, and my godfather found her in a potato field in Lough Swilly in 1950.
As we sail up the Cowes of Bute, I'm given the helm, and in an instant I get that feeling that I'm starting to know, the feeling of a Fife.
You hardly have to steer. It's just tiniest of movements. She's a thoroughbred, very lovely. I would feel this incredible responsibility when you talk about her amazing history, and now it's yours, and you gotta keep that going.
Well, yeah, I would like to keep it going. I've kept it because it was my godfather's boat, and I was very close to him. It's hard. I mean, I'm a painter, artist painter, and it doesn't really fit into the budget, but I do everything on a shoestring. I was lucky enough to be left this boat. It can be a real headache. I've just spent 3 months varnishing and sanding. I'm cursing the whole time that I can't do my paintings.
High maintenance.
High maintenance, yeah. That boat's been responsible for ruining pretty much all my relationships. But after a few days of battering around out in Loch here, it kind of feels like it makes sense. The boat seems to bring happiness to everyone who comes on board. She's very beautifully balanced and kind of almost sails on her own, and they're really bonny boats. But they look like they should be sailing around. They're very kind to the eye. The fact that she's in Scotland is important. There's not many Fifes left here. Most of her sister boats are down proposing in the Med, so it's nice to keep one up in the rain up here. Yeah.
She's at home in the rain.
Yeah, she is. Actually, it's quite good for them. They don't dry out up here. They just rot. How's that, Nicole? All right?
Yeah, that's perfect. Perfect sailing day.
Yeah, I know. We should be racing. Let's go and pick a fight. We'll go and square up with someone.
It was almost time for me to leave, but we could not resist one last skirmish.
This is one of the first 8 metres William Fyfe did. And behind us, catching up quite quickly, one of the newest, Saskia.
Saskia is 21 years younger than the truant and still competitive today. A 21st century world champion.
Oh, Ross, I think she's catching us. Hike out, boys! Hike out! We're not going to give up easily. This is a good moment. We're just about holding them off. It's quite exciting. Oh, they're coming up! They're coming up! And we've got to defend! We've got to defend! I think you're toying with us! We're nearly at the finish. Nearly at the finish.
I set the rules. We started with a real advantage, but the truant recorded another race win. Racing on the truant was such a fitting way to end my time in Scotland. To me, she embodied the qualities of Fyfe yachts, something it took 3 generations of a family to achieve. But it took just moments for me to appreciate. If you're a sailor, a Fyfe yacht is a real treat, believe me. Fyfe yachts look beautiful. They are a real delight to sail. They look after you, and they really do perform. Trophy cabinets and yacht clubs around the world are testimony to that. The Fyfe family were, in the history of yacht design, truly important. And from the tiny Scottish village of Fairlie came one of the greatest designers in history, William Fyfe III. Expect his reputation to grow and grow, as the passionate owners of these yachts dedicate so much to keeping this extraordinary story alive.